Hello! Hello, everyone. My name is Greg. I am a tutor here on Cambly. If you can hear me, please type I can hear you or say hello. Let's see. Hello, everyone. Um, yes, and good morning, or good afternoon, or good evening. It is so great to see all of you. Uh, if you can hear me, please type in there. Please tell me where you're from. I would love to see where are all of you from, and tell me how you are today. Oh, I see. Hello from India. Hello, India. Let's see. Who else do we have here? I see hello from Nepal. Hello, it's great to see you. Oh, great, you can hear me. That is wonderful. Let's see. Oh, Indonesia. Hello, Indonesia. Hello from Japan. Oh, Belarus. Hello. Hello from Vietnam. Hello, South Korea. Hello, Malaysia. It is great to see all of you. All right. Hello from South Africa. Hello from India. Hello from Jamaica. Wonderful. All right. Hello, Saudi Arabia. Hello, Russia. All right. Ukraine, Azerbaijan, it's nice to see you. All right. All right, wonderful. Well, it sounds like you can all hear me, and it is great to see all of you on here today. Many of you have come to these Cambly Live lessons before, and if so, welcome back. I'd like to see you. For those of you who are new here to Cambly Live, welcome. We are talking today about interjections. As I said, my name is Greg. I am a tutor here on Cambly. If at any point you may, wow, this is going too fast, or I want to rewatch part of this, you can watch this lesson live today from on our YouTube channel, on Cambly's YouTube channel, and you can see this entire lesson over again and watch it as many times as you'd like. So welcome. I am from the United States, and I am excited. So let's begin. Let's start out with, today we're talking about interjections. But many of you are wondering, what is an interjection? So interjections are often overlooked in language studies, but they are fun to use, and you might actually already be using these interjections in your day-to-day speech. So, an interjection, or sometimes referred to as an exclamation, is a word or short phrase that expresses emotion or feelings. Okay? So, what they often do is they talk about how strong or weak our feelings are. So, we often use these interjections to interrupt a sentence, okay, or during a conversation. So, when we're using these interjections, there's a couple of key points about interjections. So, we have interjections are grammatically independent from the sentence. So, this grammatically independent from the sentence means that interjections do not make a difference on whether the subject or what the verb is. They are independent. So, another part about interjections is that we often find them at the beginning or the end of a sentence. We can find them in the middle, but most of the time we see them at the beginning or the end. Okay? And usually, interjections are a reaction from the speaker. They are a spontaneous reaction, meaning that we say them without thinking. They come from a situation. So, now let's look at our interjection uses. So, there are no strict rules about where this interjection goes, but for example, we could say something like, ouch, I burned my finger. Or, look at that huge bird. Cool. In both of these situations, ouch and cool are our interjections. So, normally, interjections are not words, okay? They are often written sounds. So we express them using a single word or phrase, such as wow or ugh. These are both examples of interjections. So we use these in our day-to-day speech to show our emotions with who we are talking about. Okay? So now that we know what an interjection is, let's look at some examples of interjections. So we have 5 main types of interjections. Our first type of interjection is surprise. Surprise. Okay, our second main type of interjection is approval or joy. You can look at either one of those. They are both kind of in the same category. Our third type is greeting. Our fourth type is disapproval or sorrow, meaning something that you are upset about or something that you are not happy is happening. Okay? And our last one is hesitation. So hesitation is when you are not sure about something. Okay, so let's look at these types of interjections. Let's start with the first one, surprise. So one example of a surprise is, oh, oh. So this interjection, oh, is often used when something unexpected happens. So for example, oh, I didn't know you were coming. So in this example, we have someone who's coming over to see me, and I am surprised by this. Oh! Okay, let's look at another example of an interjection of surprise. What? What? So what is similar to oh? It's an expression of something unbelievable. It's a surprise. So as an example, what? You bought a new car? That's great. So this what is our interjection of surprise. Okay, let's go over one more interjection of surprise. Not really want to have happened. Ah! So for example, we have, ah! What did you do? So this example, ah! What did you do? That could be if someone, put something on the floor, something you weren't expecting. You say the expression, ah! Good. Okay, so all 3 of these are interjections of surprise. So there are more interjections of surprise, but those are the ones we will cover today. So let's look next at our interjections of approval or joy. So approval and joy is something we think is good or something that we are very excited about. That is approval and joy. Our first interjection of approval is, wow! Wow! So this interjection, wow, we can use it for an example. Wow! What a great present! So if I have received a present from someone and I am excited, I have joy, I can say, wow! What a great present! Excellent. So our next interjection of approval or joy is something, we'll talk more about approval. Cool! Cool! So this interjection, cool, we can use in the example, we are going to a party. Cool, I'll join. Or we are going to a party. Cool, I'll join. That is approval. You would like to go to the party. Excellent. So, our third interjection of approval, we can look at something like, well done. Well done. So this interjection we can use in an example of a conversation. I received a promotion at work today. Well done. I am very proud of you. I received a promotion at work today. Well done. I am very proud of you. This well done is an interjection of approval. This is part of our short phrases, okay? A short phrase. It's more than just a word. So, each of these approval and joy, we want to use them when we are excited about something. If someone comes up to me and says, Greg, I've lost my job, I wouldn't say, cool, right? I would say, oh, I'm sorry, right? So these interjections are when you are excited or happy about something. Okay, so let's start looking at a greeting interjection. Most of you are probably already using greeting interjections. For example, we have the interjection, hi. Most of you greeted me today with the interjection, hi. For example, we can use the sentence, hi, it's good to see you. In this sentence, hi, it's good to see you, hi is an interjection. Another example that's very common in English is hey. Hey. Hey is also an interjection of greeting, very common to use, similar to hi. An example is, hey, can you come help me? In this example, hey, can you come help me? You are getting someone's attention. I'm asking you, hey, come over here. Excellent. Our third example for interjections of greeting is yo. Yo. So yo is a very common interjection, usually used as slang. So if you have someone you know, you may say, yo, or yo, I didn't know you were going to be here. You're getting someone's attention and you are greeting them. Yo. All right, excellent. So let's look at our fourth one, disapproval or sorrow. Okay, so disapproval and sorrow, we are using these when something bad has happened or something that we are not very happy about has happened. So we can say something like, ugh, ugh. So this is a noise that we are making. It's not even a word. So, but this interjection we can use in the example, hey, your boss needs you to work on Saturday. Ugh, I don't want to go to work. So this is an example of something happening. You have to go to work on Saturday. And ugh, I don't want to go to work. Excellent. Another example of our disapproval or sorrow is oops. Oops. So oops is a very common reaction as well. In the example, oops, I spilled water on the floor. So in this example, we are showing sorrow for something that we have done. Oops, I spilled water on the floor. Excellent. Our next example of disapproval or sorrow is ew. Ew. So ew is disapproval. It is something that we are not excited about at all. So for example, we could say, ew, this food is covered in mold. Ew, this food is covered in mold, right? This reaction, ew, is an interjection we use to show our disapproval of the food. Okay, our last one more interjection with disapproval or sorrow. We can use the word yikes. Yikes. So, an example of yikes is I just crashed my bike. Yikes! That sounds painful. So, in this situation, we have someone who just crashed their bike, and the reaction to that is yikes! That sounds painful. Our yikes is the sorrow that we feel for the person. Excellent work. So, and I saw a question on here. Ew can be used for more than just food. Okay, we can use ew for a lot of other situations of something that we find disapproval of. Like if I smell a sock, ew, my socks stink. Good. Okay. So, our last type of interjection is hesitation. And this type of interjection is very common in the English language because when we are trying to think of something, or if we are trying to remember what we were going to say, we will use an interjection of hesitation. For example, we can have the interjection, the example of this interjection could be, I need to borrow money for a project. I am hesitating here because I can't remember what I need money for. I need to borrow money for a project. That's a hesitation. Another great example for hesitation is for example, we can say, did you clean your room? I will clean it now. This is a hesitation because we don't want to let them know, I did not clean my room. Excellent. Now, our last interjection of hesitation is, We often use when we are trying to remember something. For example, do I want chicken or fish for dinner? Do I want chicken or fish for dinner? In this example, is our hesitation. So, to review, we have 5 main types of interjections. We have surprise, approval and joy. Yes, something we are excited about. Greeting, hello, yo. Disapproval or sorrow, something you're upset about or something that you feel bad. And hesitation. So, you probably noticed many times in these interjection examples, they were not real words. They were things that we say and we put them into words like, because that's how we can say them. Interjections are not normally used in formal written or speech. We use interjections in our day-to-day conversations because we don't want to write on a paper, right? We would already know what the answer is. So now let's try some of these interjections for each other, okay? Let's show what we know. So, for example, I would like you to write an interjection based on the example, you see someone you know at a coffee shop. If you see someone you know at a coffee shop, what kind of interjection would you use? Write in the chat what interjection you would use when you see someone you know in a coffee shop. Okay, let's see. We have, hey, oh, hi. Excellent. Oh, what? Excellent. Yes, we use these greeting ones. Wonderful. We could even possibly use a surprise if you didn't know they were going to be here. Hey, I see lots of yos. That must be someone you know well to say, yo, good to see you in the coffee shop. Okay, wonderful. All right, yes, we would want to use a greeting or a surprise when we see someone we know in a coffee shop. Okay, as another example, let's take a look at your best friend wins a soccer game. Your best friend wins a soccer game. What type of interjection would we use when your best friend wins a soccer game? Wow! I see, wow, surprise. Cool. Oh, surprise, okay. Wonderful. I see lots of surprises on there. Maybe your friend, you did not expect them to win the soccer game. Cool. Ah, yes. We see a lot of joy. When your best friend wins, we have joy. Wonderful. Wow. I even saw the interjection. Oh my gosh. That's another great example. Well done. Yes. Well done is a great example for this. Good. Okay. So when your best friend wins a soccer game, you either usually have a joy or surprise. Great job. Okay. Let's look at another example. Tell me, what interjection would we use when you can't remember the answer to 9 times 8? Oh, math is hard. So, what interjection would you use when you can't remember the answer to 9 times 8? You can't remember the answer. I'm seeing a lot of uhs, seeing a lot of Wonderful, wonderful. Yes. So these interjections, we would all use hesitation. Hesitation. Okay. So if you can't remember the answer to 9 times 8, hesitation. Wonderful. Okay. Let's look at the example. Tell me, what interjection am I using if you forget to wish your mom happy birthday? So if you forget to wish your mom happy birthday, what interjection are you going to use? Let's see. Yikes! I see yikes on there. Excellent. Let's see. What interjection would you use? Probably not approval or joy. If you forget to wish your mom happy birthday, that is not approval or joy. Oh, yes, sorrow. I see a lot of oops. I see a lot of sorry. Oh, yes, wonderful. So I see ew, but we wouldn't want to use ew here because you're not disgusted that your mom that you forgot to miss. You would use something like sorry, oops, yikes. Wonderful job. Good job, everybody. Okay, now our last one. What interjection are we going to use if I just won the lottery and I want to give everyone watching $1 million? So what interjection are you going to use if I want to give every one of you $1 million? I see a couple wows. What? Excellent. Let's see. Surprise. Yes. I see a lot of surprise and joy. Both of those. Wow. Yes. What? Amazing. Very good. These are great interjections. We're going to be using those surprises and those approvals and joys. Yes. Are you kidding? Wonderful. So I see a lot of you writing down some short phrases. That's wonderful. I've given a lot of examples of just one word, but we can use a short phrase like, are you kidding me? As an interjection. Wonderful job, everyone. Okay, so that's great. We went over all 5 of our different types of interjections. So before we go, I want to tell you 2 of my favorite interjections that you will run into in English. Our first one is bravo. Bravo. This is an approval interjection. It is a fun one to say. For example, bravo. You all made it through the lesson. Bravo. You all made it through the lesson. Excellent. This is an approval or joy. And our last one. Eureka! Eureka! This is a very common interjection, especially when someone is excited or surprised. For example, I saw many of you figuring out what 8 times 9 was. You could say, Eureka! I solved the math problem. Eureka! I solved the math problem. Eureka just means I am excited. I can't believe I've done it. It's a surprise. Eureka! Wonderful. Wonderful job, everyone. Well, thank you all so much for coming to watch our lesson on interjections today. It was great to see you all on here. I hope you have learned some interjections and what they mean. We use these interjections every day, so keep practicing. I am a tutor here on Cambly. My name is Greg, like I said. Cambly offers many wonderful, wonderful opportunities for tutors just like me to help with one-on-one lessons. These lessons can help you improve your English for things like the IELTS, for any type of homework that you have, for any type of work you are doing, helping with school, all helping English tutoring. So this English tutoring, you can sign up for Cambly. And because you stayed through this whole lesson, I have a special promo code for you. Our promo code is interjection. So interjection. This promo code will give you 26% off annual plans. So you can use this annual plan to help with any of the English that you need help with. Our tutors are on every day to help you. We are very excited to see you. For those of you already on Cambly, thank you so much. For those of you who are new to Cambly, it's wonderful to see you. I hope that you all have a wonderful and safe day, and happy Ramadan for all of you who are celebrating. I hope you have a wonderful day or evening or morning. We will see you soon on our next Cambly Live. Bye-bye.